Hey, welcome back to Master Guitar Fret. My name is Jörg. In this short lesson, I'm going to show you a few lead and solo techniques that you can apply to your playing to give your soloing a more melodic and more interesting feel and sound. So we're going to be covering things like bends and pull-offs and hammer-ons and slides and so forth, which gives a solo just a lot more color. Okay, let's go check out the lesson. Okay, so I'm going to do most of these techniques sort of in the on the 5th fret in the A box. First, let's look at vibratos. Vibratos are nice. Some guitar players are extremely good. I could mention a few. Maybe not so hot, but my favorite finger for vibratos is my ring finger, for some reason. We could play it like this, or we could play it. That sounds nice, right? So instead of going to this note here on the 9th G, we stay on a 7th G and we bend up and play the vibrato. And we get the same note. Best thing for you is to learn a vibrato is just to try it. Hit the note and then move your fingers. That's the way to do it. So that adds color to a solo. Okay, number 2. We already did it. It's a slide. It's sliding to a note. Instead of just picking the note, slide to the note. And that could be the start of a solo. Or, right? And now you can think, what's your next move? So slide and vibrato. Then hammer-ons. Hammer-on is basically hit a note and then with a finger hammer on. A pull-off would be pulling off a string. For a pull-off, a hammer-on is very simple. You just hammer on, nice and clean. A pull-off, you do have to, with your finger, pluck the string a little bit. You have to pluck it a little bit, not too far, okay? But you have to, I usually go down a little bit, and then you just lift. And you kind of pluck it a little bit. Slide. And a vibrato. Hammer on, pull off. It's nice. It's better than when we play each note. We add some technique to it and it makes that little section much more interesting. Next, the bend. So you can do full bends, half bends, and more, but that's hard on your hands. Okay? So full bend basically means you go to the next note. I'm hitting this note by bending and then put a vibrato on it. So bending, you got to be careful. That takes a lot of power in your hand. I'm not built like a tank, but I do have quite a bit of strength in my hand and my fingers to do that. So you want to do that slowly, you don't want to overdo it, okay? So bend. Usually you don't just bend with your fingers. I'm holding my neck fairly loose, thumb on top, okay? I'm not cramping, I'm holding it loose. Now I'm hitting the note, and then my wrist kind of twists a little bit, and you notice I'm bending right now with my ring finger, but I'm holding the index finger and the middle finger here too, and they help me push the string up. And I'm not going on top, I'm going sort of under. My finger goes under the string, I grab it, push it down so I have some leverage, otherwise it might just slip underneath you. So you kind of have to pull under a little bit with your finger. If you have a very low action guitar, bending is actually hard because often the string will slip underneath your fingers. So I have to adjust my action as the temperature changes. You know, I'm here in Canada, right? So we get summer and winters, so my guitar neck always changes. So bend. My favorite finger for bending is the ring finger. It's the one that I have the most power with. Once in a while I might use my index, but I can't do full bends. So mostly I use my ring finger for bending. I just slide to where I need to do the bend. Pinky bends, you can try. You can certainly condition any finger, but I usually use my ring finger, and I'm happy to do that. So after a bend comes a release too. You can do a release, or sometimes a note might start with the bend. You're actually plucking the note while it's bent already, and then you release it. Or bend, release, and maybe a pull off. Another one is the rake. We bar the 3 bottom strings, and we usually hit 3 of them, and you can kind of just rake over it as you keep your strings slightly muted with your palm here. Sorry you didn't see that. Okay, and then go immediately into a bend. The muting is kind of important. Sounds very good when the guitar is sort of a raunchy overdrive or a little bit of distortion. I kind of play it pretty clean, but still it's a nice technique. So with the hammer-ons and pull-offs, there's a technique called legato, and that's kind of cool. I'm going to play one here on the 5th fret B string. I'm going to the 8th fret B string, and I'm pulling off with an upstroke. Now my middle finger goes on the 7th fret on a G with an upstroke, and then immediately to the 5th fret B string with a downstroke. Up, up, down. And of course you can get much faster. I'm I'm not that great at it, but it's can do some cool stuff. And you can find them, you know, the notes that sound cool to play a legato. So the strumming, I'm just going to repeat that again. You have to make sure that it's smart, so you're fast. So for here, for this one, okay, so we're pulling off with an upstroke. We're going to hit with an upstroke the 7th fret G, and then immediately downstroke, and then you're ready again to come out. So your picking is always the same. Okay, lots to practice. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Remember to please subscribe so you don't miss any videos, and I'll see you soon. Take care.